Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. My name is Ebony Koger, and this is Queen Sister Speaks. So, I got an idea watching my news feed on social media, and I want to do a monthly series. I'm going to call this What's Lurking in Your Shadow. And so I got the inspiration, of course, looking at my news feed. And so I remember I have this card in one of my decks. And this card is Envious Gluttony. I have a friend out here, and my Spanish sucks, so don't judge me. But it's envidios, and it's also goloso. All right. So envious gluttony is when a person constantly compares themselves to others and begin craving more and more, right? They're never satisfied. They want more attention, more praise, more success, more validation. It's like no matter what, they're always thirsty, right? They always hungry, they always thirsty. They never seem to have enough. So jealousy and envy are used synonymously, right? We use them like they're the same thing, but they really aren't. So, me, being me, according to vocabulary.com and the way it defines envy, and envy is wanting what someone else has and disliking them for it. So the problem is envy becomes dangerous when you refuse to admit it exists. No one wants to say, I feel unimportant, or I feel underlooked, or I wish I had what they have. So instead, it becomes part of your shadow. So what I want you to do right now, I want you to close your eyes and imagine you're in a dark room. So envy, like other emotions that hurt, embarrass, or scare us, get pushed out the light. The feelings that we're proud of and want others to see, you know, that's part of our light. We let people see all that. But things like envy, anger, fear, shame, jealousy, those become part of your shadow. So on social media, envious gluttony, it'll look like something like comparing your life to someone else's highlight. They highlights on their reels. You'll get salty or mad when someone else gets attention, or they up in followers, they get praise, or they looking fly today, or they got money or some kind of opportunity or achievement. You'll feel some type of way about that. Another way it appears on social media, you'll see people becoming copycats because they don't feel like they're good enough as they are. So they'll copy off of you, or you, because the person who I'm talking to, you might have this problem, and you know you have this problem, but you haven't taken the time to check yourself. And that's what we're going to talk about, what shadow work is. Shadow work is basically, with all out the psychological and all that, it's basically about checking those ugly parts of yourself. Okay? So you'll also feel some type of way, or rolling your eyes, smacking your lips, or whatever, whatever y'all call it, when someone is out here succeeding because you feel like you stuck. And I try to tell people that there's nothing that someone else has that you hadn't had. You just didn't want it. You didn't care. But when they get it, now you mad. Why are you mad? You wasn't even thinking about that. So when somebody else is doing now, you all ticked off and mad and feeling some type of way, being salty, or you want it just because they got it. I was watching a Looney Tunes skit. I like watching cartoons, and it's not just because I have a child, but I like cartoons. And Yosemite Sam from Looney Tunes, he was buying everything because Bugs Bunny was buying it. And he didn't even need it. He just wanted it because Bugs had it, because he hated Bugs so much that he just got to have everything that Bugs have. Now, I know this is a cartoon, but if you sit back and look, a lot of you are like that. I know you probably clicked out seconds ago. But a lot of you are like that. You don't even want it. You just want it because somebody else had it. So then everything, especially when it comes on social media, everything is a competition. Or you got to one-up people in some way. Or you got to dismiss their achievements or talk down on them. So I want you to try something. How about instead you shine the light on your shadow? So many of you, y'all gonna scatter like rats and roaches, because that's how gross some of these parts of ourselves is, like envy. So you hear a lot of the spiritual community talking about shadow work and doing shadow work and that, but what actually is shadow work? What is it? So shadow work is when you honestly look at the parts of yourself you like to hide, like envy in this case, and you ask yourself, why do I feel like this? What about this hurt me? What do I need? Why do I need this? Okay? So you're not judging yourself, but you want to understand what is it about this emotion, and understand this backup programming you've done created for yourself over years. So I'm starting to be convinced that envy, it develops some part of time in your life. But I observe people. I talk a lot, but I observe people. And I've seen envy in children's eyes. I done seen it in, young children, like 5, 6 years old. I done seen envy in teenagers and young adults and even older people. I hear what they say, and sometimes I have to get with them like, hey, we had our time. It's time for us to sit down. Let them do them. They no different. You know what I'm saying? But I think if they was somebody when they was younger, if they was fly or if they had it going on when they was younger, they wouldn't even be tripping. They wouldn't have nothing to say. I don't, because I was fly. I'm just playing. No, I'm not. But you know what I mean? I think it's something that has always been within us. These different type of emotions. They could have developed somewhere in time, but I think envy is something that's always been a part of somebody. I really do. So this month, because I want you to take this month and really, because shadow work, when you're doing shadow work, it's not something you can just do overnight. You got to really work at it. You got to and then when you catch yourself getting envious, you want to check yourself. You want to say, oh, wait a minute, I know what this is. Why am I feeling this way? And then you might want to start journaling about this or keeping notes about how you're feeling about this jealousy. So you want to ask yourself, when it comes and you think about it, if you sit down, if you journal, if you don't, I don't know how I journal. So I'm just going to show you the way I've learned to go through this. Okay. So you want to ask yourself, what's the real problem? What the problem is. What's the real problem? Is it really because they succeeded? They got some money? What's the problem? What is the problem? How does this affect you? Okay? Why is this feeling coming up within yourself? You want to ask yourself that. And you also want to ask yourself, what do I feel like I'm lacking? Because you want to get a point in your life where you can look on social media or you can be out in society and you content with who you are. You don't feel no shade. You ain't throwing shade or getting mad or upset because somebody else got what you don't. Because really you don't need it. Because if you wanted it, you would have bought it. Let's be honest. Or you would have went after it. If it was a achievement or goal or something like that. You know what? I'll give you another good example. Now, remember, I told you I come from the hood. And this is just a theory of mine. But have you ever seen, I know a lot of y'all listening, y'all probably, from the hood or something, or even if you're not, you probably done seen this. Have you ever met somebody that, I'm going to use a dealer, all right? Dealers only hang with people, some dealers, I'm going to say some. They only hang around people that are poorer than them. It don't even have to be a dealer. It's people that, they like people hanging around people that don't have as much as they do because it makes them feel better about themselves. It's even with like dating. Some people only date below them because then they feel like they the best thing since sliced bread. You feel me? So, I think you know where I'm going, right? So when you ask yourself what's the real problem and why these feelings keep coming up, you want to ask yourself, what do I need? What is it that I need? Why do I need it? What are you afraid of? Because the shadow is something that we fear. The problem is the shadow is overspilling. And it's become normalized, especially on social media, where people can make their aggression appear to be something else. So what are you afraid of? Are you afraid that you're going to be left behind? Or, what I'm seeing on my own social media is most of us don't even deal with each other. Like, we don't even see each other no more. We grown, we got our own lives and everything. So it's really disturbing to me when you get people like me that's halfway to 100 and older that's envious. And we're going to talk about jealousy, but we're going to talk about that later on. Because jealousy is when you're scared you're going to be replaced. That's when somebody get a new friend, or there's a new sibling in the family, or, when it comes to romantic situation, you know who you dealing with is a flirt and what they're capable of doing because they probably did it with you. You probably met them when they was with somebody and they made you feel like you was the better person. Now they doing the same damn thing to you. Maybe the person that cheated on you, they cheated on you to be with somebody else, and now they with that somebody else, and they cheating with them so they could be with you. Make it make sense. You see how that dysfunction, that, as y'all say, that toxic cycle? Think about it. Okay? So when you on social media, one thing you might want to do, because I limit my time because it's annoying. It's annoying to me. Like I said, I'm starting to become an old lady or something. Things just get on my nerves. But when you post, are you connecting? Are you connecting with your family and friends? Are you sharing? Or are you seeking validation? Okay. Are you expressing yourself? Are you creatively expressing yourself? Or are you trying to shit on others? I said I wasn't going to cuss, but are you trying to shit on others, basically? So after you get done looking at everybody's lives, how does it make you feel afterwards and why? I was talking to someone and they was telling me how much they love their friend and everything, and they start crying. And I'm like, why are you crying? And they said, well, they had the same issue or whatever. They had the same challenge. But her friend, how do they say, took the bull by the horn? She tackled her challenge. She faced her shadow, and she overcame it. And now she done leveled up. And so even though her friend, what she was expressing to me is that she's so proud of her, but the better her friend did, the more she felt like shit because she had all the same opportunities. They was doing the same thing. They had the same opportunity to come up together, but she made a conscious decision to stay right where she was at. So at this point, and think about it with yourself. At this point, if all of us went to the same school, I come from a small town, y'all. So most of the people, we all went to the same school together. We went to the same junior high. We went to the same high schools. We probably, some of us even went to the same college. Now, with my life, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest because I don't care. I don't care no more. When my friends went off and did they damn thing, they handled their business, right? And I wasn't mad at them because I consciously chose something different. I went a different direction in my life, right? So when they was out here whipping new cars and being able to go to the clubs and taking trips, I'm happy for them because they did the right thing. I can't be mad at them because I made some poor decisions in my life. But that doesn't mean that I have to continually make poor decisions in my life. Now, since I know that we had the same teachers, most of us had the same upbringing and all that, same opportunities, that means I can do it too. I don't want exactly what they want, or what they doing, but I know I can do some dope things too. Just like they out here dope, I could be dope like them. You understand what I'm saying? So this series, What's Lurking in the Shadow, will help you to face these hard feelings head on and to help you to begin healing instead of keeping you in shame. I'm not trying to shame you. I just want you to kind of take a look at yourself, because that's ugly. I'm just going to be real with you. I tell my friend, it's a proverb and that I like repeat. I like saying it's better hurtful words from a friend than kisses from an enemy. See, your enemy is going to keep you down that bad road. They're going to keep you in a loop. They don't want you to do better. They don't want you to feel better. They don't want you to, get your money up and your self-worth. You'll see once you start getting better, they'll start tugging at you. They'll start pulling at you, right? But your friend is going to tell you, no, I think this, no. How my what friend? Now let's think about this. When your friend know you, when you finna do something stupid, they're gonna say, let's think about this. Or they're gonna say, hold on, that ain't it. And let's just say an outfit. They'll tell you, your friend will tell you, that's an ugly outfit, girl. That hairstyle is ugly. Oh, you need to, and I'm not saying you'll know the difference. I guess you know the difference. When you really hitting on something. When you fly. You really don't need no cosigner when you fly, right? But when you unsure, you already know the outfit don't feel kind of right. It's a little too tight. That it's a medium. Damn where you wear an extra large or a 2X or something, or them shoes too tight, or your foot too big. You know what I'm talking about, ladies. I mean, men, y'all know. Which I don't know because I'm not a man. But you know how your homeboys, you be like, man, he musty. You know your boy musty. Why you gonna if that's your boy, why you gonna let him be out here musty and dusty like that? You ain't his friend. The truth is, you ain't his friend. You feel like he competition. And so you gonna use him. You basically gonna use him and get whatever you want. Then you gonna laugh at him later. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Y'all forget. I think some people forget that once upon a time I was a kid. Once upon a time I was a teenager. And I damn sure was a hot ass 20-year-old. So I already know the game. When you've been around people that function off of manipulation, when you get older, you know how the game work. Okay? So I'm not going to talk you to death. I just want you to kind of look at this and think about it. What's your problem? Why are you envious? How does it concern you? Why is it bothering you so much? I don't understand that. Don't get answer me, but think about it for yourself. Why are you bothered? Okay? So that's all I have for you. Thank you for listening. Again, my name is Ebony Coger. This is Queen Sister Speaks. Take care. Ciao.